He will. He's done it again.
Quick conversations with King Drew Million. Quick conversations with King Drew Million. Quick conversations with King Drew Million.
Quick conversations with King Drew Million.
Let's chop it up.
Welcome to another episode of Quick Conversation with King Drew Millions. It's your boy, Mr. Quick.
And I'm King Drew Millions. And this podcast is being sponsored by the Professional brand, where we always keep it peak, and the Hive, where visions get elevated.
And man, we want to welcome you all to another season, man. It is season 3. We made it. And you already know we don't do nothing but have the conversations that you too scared to have, don't want to have, or you have behind closed doors. But the whole premises of what we do is to entertain, empower, and enlighten. And on today's episode, man, I'm telling you, when I tell you we in store for some real stuff, that really this whole season,
Yes, sir.
you into, I mean, nothing but a treat with the guests we decide to chose for this lineup,
Yes, sir.
the topics of conversation
Yes, sir.
is very intricate and eclectic. You know what I'm saying, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So, Drew, man, what you been up to, man, since we been off, man?
Bro.
Life been lifing, huh?
Man, life been lifing, man. I mean, had a birthday recently, you know.
Okay. Happy belated.
38 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an OG now. I'm school.
Yeah, you school.
Yeah, man. You know, the holidays, we done had the holidays come through. Family, life, work.
Yeah.
You know. What about yourself?
Man, I've been on a journey, bro. Really, to be honest with you, spiritually, physically, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to better myself as a human being and my purpose in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I saw myself checking my weight, and I was at 250 pounds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like having acid reflux and everything. You know what I'm saying? My body was just like, hey, bro, what's really going on? Like, I ain't made for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually put myself on a 48-day fast.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, not a 48-day, 48 hours, excuse me.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm like 48 days.
No, 48 hours.
My next question was gonna be like, what were you fasting from? Because you know what I'm saying? But
no, I completely abstained from food for 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, like, I was just drinking water, I was praying and meditating, you know what I'm saying, reading books. And actually, this is one of the books that I chose to read, Soul Surgery. You know what I'm saying? Great book, very short, you know what I'm saying? Only about a good 30-some odd pages, you know what I'm saying? And let me show y'all.
Who wrote that book?
Aja McDonough.
Okay.
And what it says is, experience is not what happens to us. It is what we do with what happens to us. You know what I mean? Like, it was very powerful, man. Like, I went through this whole thing of, I began to journal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, actually write down the things that I was going through, because like my dad always tell me, it's more room out than in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And instead of sharing those thoughts with someone, I just wrote it. I just let the pen bleed. You know what I'm saying?
How was that? That's something I actually never done.
Bro.
Well, I ain't gonna say never, but never consistently did it too.
It was therapeutic, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Because I was honest with myself.
Got you.
You know, the things that I didn't feel at ease about, the things that I didn't feel confident about, the things that really made me, what they say, feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Now, I haven't had the opportunity to revisit those thoughts, but I also wrote down goals. You know what I'm saying? I plan on revisiting that in a few months or so. You know what I'm saying? But it all kind of went down to basically what I feel like our topic of conversation is today, and that's sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I was able to sacrifice myself for a better me later on.
Mm, yeah, yeah. And how you feel about that? How do you feel about sacrifice? Period.
I feel like it's necessary.
Mm,
I feel like it's necessary because I mean we only get 168 hours a week.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if we choose to work at these jobs for 40 hours, we choose to sleep 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have travel time within these days. You know what I'm saying? Another 10, 15 hours.
Right, right.
What's left?
Yeah.
What are you really giving to yourself for growth and discernment? You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So even within this journey that I've gone through, you know what I'm saying? Like I've lowered the amount of time that I sleep. If I
Mm.
have 24 hours a day, why do I need 8 hours of sleep? You
So
know what I'm
what you
saying?
what you average of sleep?
I'm averaging now 5 to 6 hours of sleep. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm sacrificing my time, you know what I'm saying, for my health because
Mhm.
I'm going to the gym.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sacrificing my time for my education because I'm reading.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's an investment in myself.
Right.
Like right now, I may not necessarily see the result of it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But in due time, people will see it, then I see it in myself. Cause I mean, I've had quite a few people tell me like, okay, bro, I could tell you been in the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when the ladies do it to me, it's like, hey, baby, you see me. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah,
Lord,
it
let me
feel
go stay
good.
right. You feel me? Like it
Yeah.
does something to the confidence level. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I can really appreciate my journey at this point. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, the older I get, hey man, like I ain't getting no taller. You feel me? So I gotta stay, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It
As fit as
it ain't
possible.
going up, it's going out.
You feel me? For real,
Getting
for real.
wide. Yeah.
For real, for real.
Nah, I respect that. Yeah, I mean, for me, that's all I am right now. Me and you have talked about that. I feel like right now I'm just a sacrificial lamb. I
Yeah.
mean, it, when we thought about the topic of sacrifice, and I've been studying it and looking into it, I'm like, everything that I represent right now is a sacrifice. I made the sacrifice to promote at my job, you
Mhm.
know, and within that, my schedule has changed, my lifestyle has changed.
Right.
But that's what I wanted, and that's what come with it. Whenever you want to like move up, promote, and go forward, it may not come as you would like it to be. You know, you ask for certain things in life, and
Mhm.
then as God present them to you, it's not gonna always be how you want it. So when I got offered my promotion, it was the hours, the days off. Nothing about it made sense outside of me wanting to sacrifice everything to promote. Um, my family, my wife, my kids. Of course, I'm always sacrificing for that. That's what I've been told.
Not only do you have to sacrifice for them, sometimes you have to sacrifice them as well. Like spending time away from your family in order to do what is necessary for your own personal growth.
Yeah, and that's a growing pain of success too.
Not real talk.
I've met people who didn't. I've talked to people in all different type of fields of work that
Mhm.
don't promote because they don't want to be away from their family or friends,
Not
or
for real.
they don't want to stop a certain lifestyle they created. And to each his own, but you know, for your own journey, you know, sometimes you have to cross that path on making that sacrifice if that's what you want.
If success has a cost
Mm.
and that cost can't be paid in credit,
Mm.
you know what I'm
You got to
saying?
put that work in.
You got to cash out in the
Mhm.
beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. That's that sacrifice. Sacrifice is that cost, right? I take it back to, you know what I'm saying, where I am as a man right now in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I delayed gratification early on in my life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Because you know, and some out there do know, you know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of in the streets.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But I delayed the gratification of being the most popular, having the most money at that time, scaling back and living the college lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Although, granted, I did my thing when I was in college, but I ain't get it like I could have if I was really out in the field.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I managed my time to the point to where, okay, if you caught me in between classes, I can give you a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I
Right.
move. Like
Yeah.
if you know, you know, and if you was there, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. If you caught me before 12, you got a good sale. You know what I'm saying? But anything after 12, you gonna get the full price.
Hey, what do you think your biggest sacrifice has been thus far?
I'm gonna say my biggest sacrifice has been sacrificing my time to not only invest in myself, but to invest in the kids that I work with.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm constantly pouring into their cups, regardless if their cup got holes in it.
Right.
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Because I know the lessons and the conversations that we having are going to impute something within them that may not actually arise until a later time.
Mm.
Because I know often the lessons that my dad gave me, my uncles gave me, my OGs gave me, I didn't actually realize it until the frontal lobe was actually fully developed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there is new studies that the frontal lobe ain't even fully developed at the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? New studies say your frontal lobe don't fully develop until you 30.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why we experience that once you get to be 30, dang, I'm grown now. I can't do the things that I was doing in my 20s.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're embarking on this journey, you have a better understanding of, okay, in order for me to sacrifice, or in order for me to have better health, I need to sacrifice my time now.
Mm.
But if I don't sacrifice my time now for better health, right,
Right, right.
I'll be sacrificing money later to
Yeah.
get better health.
Yeah.
One of those things where we have a problem with that delayed gratification.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? With Instagram and social media and all that, man, we want it right now. We want it right now. Everything is in a microwave. You know what I'm saying? I almost created in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? Just suck it right up. And that ain't what it is, bro. Like, you got to think, bro, we really was raised in a stovetop era. You know what I'm saying? But we grew through
Mhm.
this microwave era.
Right, right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Right.
And imagine the individuals that are growing up and all they know is microwave.
Well, it's our job to slow them down.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it discipline, environment, or lack of vision that had them?
I think it's all of them, bro. All that play a major part. You can't pick one out of those three.
Yeah.
For instance, discipline that comes from within,
Mm-hmm.
self-discipline, you know, and the environment. If you raised around people who can show you how to be disciplined, you don't have to wait till your later lives
Mhm.
to learn discipline. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, I kind of just had this situation with my own son. You know, I had to kind of teach him about, you know, about this what
Mhm.
we talking about the
Prioritizing comfort now
right.
for security later.
He had opportunity to go to a college full ride, but it wasn't in Texas. It was out of state. He ain't never lived out of state before. It was everything about it was uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I had to sit him down and explain, hey, this is an opportunity that's fully given to you, a full ride that you can't pass up because you don't want to be uncomfortable, because you're gonna miss family and friends, because you don't know how to live on your own and by yourself. Like
Mhm.
these are the things that make you a man, or these are the things that make you successful. You know, success when you see somebody that's successful, or you see that person made certain sacrifices, and I want to talk about this too. People have made sacrificing a negative thing. When me and you came up with the idea to even talk about this topic, and I just started kind of studying just the word sacrifice, I realized sacrifice is all in the Bible. Like from the beginning of time, sacrifice. God asks everybody to sacrifice. If you love me, sacrifice this, sacrifice that. When did we get to the point when we start talking about people making sacrifices being negative?
Because everybody know what it take, but everybody not willing to do what it take. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really want to look at it, success is not just only what you do, right? Because success is a destination. I mean, it's not a destination, it's a journey, right? So you have to become that individual to be and do successful things. You know what I'm saying? It's an internal thing. You got to look within self. You got to do the work. You got to do what this book say, the soul surgery. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do that, then what's the purpose? Because we're all here for a purpose, right? So when you are looking at it, right, and you searching within self, sometimes you'll have those conversations with the powers that be. And I ain't talking about an individual that you could touch. I'm talking about what you can't see. You know what I'm saying? When you have that conversation and really find out your true purpose, that's a part of success.
And when if you talking to somebody that don't understand that, or don't believe in that, or just not about that, they gonna make it seem like you tripping.
But I mean, maybe they've never really been a part of something that's bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? And I got that nugget when one of my students came to me and he literally said, I come to school every day just to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to hear the encouragement that you are going to try to place upon me. Like, bro, that means something, bro. Like, that further drove my purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? It let me know that I'm not only an image to them, I'm something to look up to.
Yeah.
And when that was said, like, bro, I really started to shift, you know what I'm saying? And really start carrying myself a different way, bro. Like, I wanted to show them that a black man can dress up, tuck his shirt in, wear his pants up on his waist, wear a belt, and still be the same dude from the hood, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed what I thought was cool so I can impute the image of something that is even cooler, because I can transcend and be a chameleon, not only in this realm, but in other realms, because I can still go to the hood in the same clothes that I got on and get the same respect that I get in any boardroom.
Yeah. But see, and that's where you say the environment. So a lot of people come from an environment that don't have that leadership, or don't have that role model, or that image. Because the older you get, we all done went through a lot of the same stuff, but as we get older, some people don't know how to transition, and that's a sacrifice within itself, because, we all have an inner self that we would want to be on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that you have to, I ain't gonna say hide that, like my alter ego, King Drew Millions. I can't literally be King Drew Millions 24/7 out the day. Andrew Scott got to come and go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to pay bills. I got to raise children, and to understand that even with that in itself is a sacrifice, when a person have to understand, I have to not be this person at this time.
Right. Well, I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is people feel like they're losing their lives trying to build their future. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And a lot of people that you hanging around or people that you know what I'm saying, cohabitating with at that time, maybe they're only supposed to be in your life for a season.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're not necessarily supposed to be there. They are a page or part of a chapter
mm,
in your book. They not there for the whole story. You know what I'm saying? I think we get that misconstrued, you know what I'm saying? Because we try to use what we have already been conditioned to know, like spending time with a person lets a person know that you love them.
mm,
But just like your family knows, you love them. But in order for you to take care of us in the proper manner, we're gonna have to lose time with you for you to go to work, to put
mhm,
food on the table, to put a roof over our head, to make sure that toilet flush. You know what I'm saying? Put clothes on our back, make sure it's food in that refrigerator.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The minor comforts that we enjoy and indulge in, you gotta sacrifice something
Yeah,
in order to obtain those. You know what I'm saying? Because
mhm,
even from your kids, just think about your mother or at some point, right? You may have to sacrifice either your time or your finances to take care of either of them.
yeah, yeah. And that's the uncomfortable part about it. A lot of people don't know how to decipher when and what. Like,
Yeah.
should I sacrifice my time right now? Should I sacrifice my finances? Should I sacrifice my alter ego? You know, you
Nah,
have
for
to figure it out.
and see it's crazy when you in a relationship because your partner feel like you neglecting them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not able to spend that quality time. You know what I'm saying? But if you have the right partner will understand. That's all right. He doing what he got to do to make sure
Mhm.
we straight.
Right,
Not
right.
just make sure that he's straight, but make sure that we straight. That's when we get to speaking French. We. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you well, you got if it's something, how can I say this? While you sacrificing your whatever it is for the time being and you soul searching and you making your prayers or you writing in your journal, as you are focusing on what is important to you, you really won't even pay attention to what you losing or what's walking away. Cause you so like you'll look up and be like, dang, X amount of time went by. I ain't even realized that I ain't seen this person in such amount of time, or I haven't even hung out or did this. Like
Yeah.
some people, like I like to drink. But when I'm 10 toes down at work and in my business, I look up, I be like, dang, I ain't had a drink in 6 days.
But sometimes guilt sets in when we don't spend that time, right? Because we're so focused on running. And I remember one time you asked me, like, as far as the accolades that I've received at this point in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was it like? I said, bro, I wasn't doing nothing but focusing on running.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I remember that.
I never considered, you know what I'm saying? Like when my little sister had things
But
going
did you?
on
But
at
that's what I'm
school.
saying. Did you? I remember when I asked you because let's talk about it. I said you was 25 years old, married with a house, 2 cars, with a master's education degree. You had bought a house, got married, 2 cars, with a degree, well, a master's degree,
2 degrees.
and something else. But anyway, you was only like 25 years old, and I said, how did you get all that so fast? And you said you were just running. But did you even notice the things you missed out on at that time? Like, because you say some people feel guilt. I didn't sense no guilt from you around that time, but we didn't really talk about it at that time. We was young too. Did you at that time feel guilt, or you didn't, or the guilt didn't hit you to after you kind of settled
It
in?
ain't hit me till later. because it was almost like, you know how a cat end up going to jail and miss out on so many birthdays, miss out on so many funerals. You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of locking in.
Mm.
It's like you're basically incarcerating yourself mentally and isolating yourself physically for your own personal growth.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So the guilt didn't resonate with me until retrospect. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really think about the moments like, dang, I could have went picked little baby up, you know what I'm saying, and hung out with her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, we got some great memories, you know what I'm saying? Great memories, like the guy she's with now, you know what I'm saying, an honorable guy, you know what I'm saying? And she says that he carries a lot of character traits that I have. And that made me feel good to know that she looks up to me that much. You know what I'm saying? To search for the characters that I possess in her own mate. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of street, education, and hard working. You know what I'm saying? And willing to take care of what is necessary by any means necessary. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So that kind of when that arises, it makes me not feel as guilty because she'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like me taking her to Galveston and riding bikes and getting ice cream, walking down the seawall, you know what I'm saying? Taking to nice restaurants, you know what I'm saying? Like I've done that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I made it hard for a cat to just impress her.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just, baby, I bought you this here. Nah, man, she had yellow diamond earrings, you know what I'm saying, when she was a wee tat. You know what I'm
So what
saying?
messed it up? Was it you focusing on yourself?
I think it was more so of a personal thing. It wasn't anything that she said to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just I looked up and she was a grown woman, bro.
Mm.
Like I remember her coming out of the womb.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa. To see her as a grown woman now, you know what I'm saying? And her being a mother, you know what I'm saying? Like, where did the time go? That's what makes me feel guilty because I didn't actually pay attention as I should have. And maybe part of the reason is because I wasn't mature enough to do it.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, you was focusing on yourself as you should though. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like when a person is focused on success, making sacrifices and moving in a purpose, the word, well, I ain't gonna say the word, people will have you feeling guilty for that. Why is a person that's sacrificing to do something great? Why is a person that's waking up every day, doing his daily obligations, chasing success, told to feel guilty?
Only thing I can say, like when you in the streets, right? I mean, just me in general, and I ain't just in the streets, bro. I never want to feel like a quitter, right? Because me sacrificing the street fame, you know what I'm saying? The ability to have racks on top of racks, you know what I'm saying? To pursue something that I may not see no return on my investment for another 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Makes me think about the quote that was said in the movie American Gangster. Quitting while you're ahead is not the same as quitting. So I quit while I was ahead in order to save myself, in order to be able to be where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that part I don't feel guilty about. You know what I'm saying? Because me and you both, we know we got partners that's been down and locked down
Mm-hmm.
for over 10 years right now already. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Boys coming home from when we was locked up when we was 17, 18 years old.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was right there with them, participating in the same activities. You know what I'm saying? So that part I don't feel bad about. I don't feel I don't have no survivor's remorse for nothing that I'm going through right now, because I did what it take for me to stand right here on this stage or sit right here on this couch and have this conversation with you as a free man, money in the bank, degrees on the wall, roof over my head, jewelry on my limbs. You know what I'm saying? And you got cats that's out here killing themselves in order to live the life that I live, and not even really paying attention to what they're sacrificing to get it. You sacrificing yourself and your time.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. When I've been going to church lately. When you ask me what I've been on too, I've been going to church lately. I ain't gonna lie, it's been feeling good too, because I had stepped away for a while. But that was the last sermon, the last time I went to church. What are you sacrificing for? So, when they say, there's a cause and effect or a reaction, it don't just work negatively, it works positively. Like it works both ways. You can sacrifice for good or you could sacrifice for bad. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, for you to explain everything, you just said, like, you could sacrifice for good and get good outcomes. Or you could sacrifice for bad and get bad outcomes. Now, don't get me wrong, life be life. So either way, you could do something and at the beginning, you like, man, I did all this good and I ain't getting nothing good from it. But you can keep doing good and you're gonna get what you deserve out of whatever decisions you choosing to make. So when I see, especially with the younger kids, hitting licks and robbing and all that, what are you sacrificing for? You know what I'm saying? You making these sacrifices, but you know what comes at the end of that.
I've been there, right? All I'm thinking about is the reward. I'm not calculating the risk. I'm not. That's not. All I'm thinking about is right now at this moment. I'm hungry. I want this car. I want this girl. I want these clothes. I want this, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the immediate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I've told you off camera, bro, I really only plan for the first 30 years of my life.
I think that's most of us though.
But at this point, the last few years, I've been freestyling. I ain't mad at the freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been constantly progressing. I've been on the upward trajectory. You know what I'm saying? There has not been a plateau. Although I may feel like I done plateaued, I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been able to constantly acquire the things that I want in life.
Right.
I may not have been able to travel as much as I'd like to, but that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make in order to elevate myself professionally. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like it's a force between survival and stability. You know what I'm saying? My life is stable. I ain't in survival mode, bro.
Right.
Life is good right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my refrigerator empty. I ain't tripping. My refrigerator is empty, but guess what? I got money in the bank to go and eat wherever I see fit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I want to go take myself to Steak 48 right now,
so
I'm good to do so.
Older guy like yourself came and talked to the younger guy like yourself and explained everything you just explained. Do you think the younger you would have listened to that?
I battle with that every day. That's my job. That's my job. But see, it's a skill that I try to impute into these young minds, right? It's a cognitive behavior therapy skill, right? I tell them to flex your thinking. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to solve it yourself. That's 2 skills. Flex your thinking and solve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give you the answers to the questions, but I'll give you the tools in order for you to answer it yourself when the time presents. I need you to understand what's possible. Think about it from another perspective. Think about it from a new lens. You know what I'm saying? Here, try these glasses on. You know what I'm saying? You can see 2020. And if I can get you to see that vision, I can help you change your mind that will help you change your future. Now,
Yeah.
if the person isn't open for it,
I was just gonna say that was my next thing. Some people just don't want it. So
That's
my
something
biggest
different.
sacrifice for me was when I was 20 years old, I became an EMT. That changed my life for all the way up until now. Because I was a young African American male from the hood trying to figure it out and had a lot of environmental opportunities on the table that could have changed, my whole trajectory. But when I became an EMT and I started making money, I would just work. I'm missing out on everything because I'm like, man, as long as I go to work, I'm gonna get paid. I'm working. And then I look up, kind of like while you was in college, I was working. But that was my hustle. You know what I'm saying? EMT. But I look up 5-6 years and passed I mean, I get a little traveling, did a little this, but I done stacked up a lot of money, did a lot of work, and then built a lot of connections, whatever. But while on that time, a lot of people was in the streets and making decisions and doing this and doing that. But they were, hey, you want to come out tonight? Now I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? So me just finding a career or finding a job early on really saved my 20s.
Nah,
you know
for
what I'm
real.
saying?
And see that journey can be very lonely, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It was because I'm working all the time while I'm seeing friends traveling or hanging out or doing what they do. But once we get to the later life, I don't have no record. I don't have a bunch of this or a bunch of that going on because I spent my 20s just grinding and working.
Nah, for real.
But I will say I asked you that question because I did listen to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I did. Somebody pulled me to the side and said, hey, you should do this, this, and this. It wasn't my mom, it wasn't my daddy. It was another person. But they just laid it down for me. But I wanted it. And like, that's why when you was like, man, when you making these sacrifices, you kind of be feeling bad. I don't. Because whenever somebody put me on game and they show me a way, I apply it. So if you're not willing to apply it and you're not willing to show that you're willing to make the sacrifice, I can't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I give people game, I tell them the sacrifices they have to make, and I see people walking away.
But what a lot of people are experiencing is the acronym of FOMO. You know what FOMO is?
Never heard of it.
The fear of missing out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like, oh man, my boys out there turning up, man, while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, my boys out there getting to them females while I'm in here studying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And before you know it, the activities that they participating in, another 5-10 years down the line, they got 2-3 kids, you know what I'm saying? 2-3 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? Because they was participating in those activities. And now you done put some letters behind your name. Well, I know that's what I was doing for myself, you know what I'm saying? And you were doing that, but you ain't necessarily putting up, but you were achieving certain things within the corporate structure you decided to go into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about perspective, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie. Now that you done taught me that term, and I'm gonna put that in my back pocket and I'm gonna use that. It don't end. You know what I'm saying? The sacrifice, like the journey, don't end. It only starts over. So you could pop in and pop out. You know what I'm saying? So if you afraid of missing out, you ain't gonna never have nothing. If in your heart and soul all you care about is being seen and being out and being it now, don't get me wrong. If your job is to be out, then you done made it possible for yourself.
Right.
But I don't care what it is you doing, you always gonna miss out on something. Even if your job, if you like to party and you become a party promoter,
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do when it's a big party tonight, but it's your mama birthday that same night,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't mix the two? You got a big client coming to the city. You gotta be at this club tonight, and it ain't really your mama style. Maybe she too, old or can't get to. That ain't the vibe. So you gotta, I'm just naming something, whatever, or something with the wife
that's
and
when
the
life
kids.
get to lifing.
You're going to always be missing out on something. So if you worried about what everybody else doing and what it'd be if you would have came and showed up, I don't know. Fortunately for me, I never cared about missing out.
But really what that is, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to take that first word of the acronym I just gave, right?
Mhm.
Fear. And we're going to turn that into another acronym, right? False events appearing real.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be missing out, but it's not nothing too serious.
Mhm.
Because the moment that you sharing with your mama, that would never come again if she passed away.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You can always turn up again with the homies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you can always find a later time, but no man knows the time nor the hour
Mhm.
when that reaper knock on your front door. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think we find ourselves not living in the moment because we're so busy planning for the future. So you have to find a harmonious way to do both. Plan for the future, but live in the moment.
Right.
Stay away from the thoughts of the past because that's where depression lies.
Yep.
And don't go too far off into the future because that's where anxiety resides.
Mm.
Life is about living in the moment. And when we grasp that, but still have the ability to plan for the future, you in store for a heck of a ride, if you ask me.
And that's my balance. That's kind of how I've always lived my life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm say this real quick. Like a lot of times people come up to me, especially a lot of young adults, hey, how I become, like whatever I'm doing, if I'm in my police uniform, even when I was an EMT, or even with us doing the podcast now, man, how I do this, or I want to do what you doing. And then once I get to telling them, like even with the podcast, man, I want to do podcasts. But then if I get to telling them how, like the back end of the process, you really do all that? Yeah. I ain't know you were doing all, you ain't doing all that. Yes, this is what it take to get to this point, or this is what it take to do this. Oh man, I ain't know it was gonna be all that. I don't think I want to do that no more. Okay, move.
And see, they thinking about if the payout don't come. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't worry about if the payout is gonna come, whether or not, because I know what I'm doing right now. Right now is just what this book. I keep bringing this book up, man, because it's powerful, man. It says experience is not what happens to us. It is what we do with what happens to us. See, life don't happen to you. It happen for you. You know what I'm saying? And when you are able to accept that, I wasn't supposed to go to that party. Like, I give you case in point. I remember back in the day, it was a party that you, your twin at the time, and Kinfolk went to. And y'all was like, man, bro, y'all pull up to the party. I pulled up. Me and Lil Buddy. You know what I'm saying? We pull up to the party. I say, hey, bro, I ain't really feeling the vibes. You know what I'm saying? You know, we outside cats. We way out here on the south side. You know what I'm saying? I think the party was like somewhere in Sunnyside, Dead
Right.
End or something. You feel me?
Right.
I say, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and banana split. I'm gonna let y'all have it, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to 288 and 59 before y'all called me talking about, man, bro, they shooting.
Shot the party up.
Shot the party up. I was able to think about, like, you know what I'm saying, bro, is this really worth it? You know what I'm saying? And remove myself. I was able to, that itty bit of gratification of being right there and hollering at them little bros from the different side of town because they don't go to school with us and all this, that, and the third. I sacrificed that for my own safety. And y'all jumping fences and running from dogs and all that. You know what I'm saying? He in the story.
But
Like,
let's just sit on that. And some people don't even get that. It is, as much as I want to put an age on it and say a young person, it's older people that don't even understand that. Like sitting down, not going somewhere, or picking that extra shift up at work, or spending that extra time with your kids. A lot of times the turmoil and the treacherous and the evil things don't typically happen to you when you somewhere you supposed to be. You know what I'm
for
saying?
real.
Like when you call off for work, because you supposed to go to work, and all of a sudden last minute you call off for work just because you gotta go to this party. Then you get there and it's chaotic and you're like, I should have went to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always when you, and I'll tell you something, we got a close friend, you know what I'm saying? He said something to me one day when I called him, and I was just telling him about some of my personal stressors of my time and stuff that I had going on. He said, this year, what I want you to do is be more intentional with your time and be more intentional with where you going. I'm like, well, what you mean? He say, one thing I know about you is if I call you at 5:30 and tell you it's a party at 6, you'll wake up, get out your bed, get dressed, and pull up. He said, start planning that if you did not plan to go, don't go. Like he said, it's
because you're not obligated to go.
You're not obligated. This is not something that you had planned. This is not something you had in the works. He said, when you call me, a lot of times I tell you I ain't going. It ain't because I don't want to go. I didn't have that plan.
Yeah.
You randomly called me and say, hey man, tonight we finna go do X, Y, Z, man. I think you should pull up. And he said, a lot of times I'll tell you, hey man, he said, I really make things up, or I just tell you I ain't gonna make it. He said, but the reality of it is I just didn't have it planned. He say, I planned my fun. That's like how you said the fear of missing out. He don't have the fear of missing out because he planned his fun. Like he like, I know 3 weeks from now, I'm gonna go out to a certain place and just have drinks and just hang out. Outside of that, I'm working, hanging with my chick, my kids, whatever the case may be, but I don't do random fun. And you know what I'm saying?
See, I can't necessarily say that, bro, because I'm a Scorpio, bro. I'm a very spontaneous person, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a homebody, all this, that, and the third, granted, you know what I mean? But I enjoy, and this may be my personal thing, I enjoy riding through the back streets of the city. And you know that, bro. I know the back streets of this city like the back of my hand. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to touch the freeway at no point. But the spontaneity of it, of me being able to find a new spot, find a hidden gem, find that best taco that nobody knows about, or that best burger that nobody knows about, like, I find fulfillment in that. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy those unplanned things in my life because they also add memories as well. Like, man, that wasn't even the plan, bro. But I give you an example, man. Me and Uncle CB, we was rolling one day, dog, and I just looked over at this little old spot. I said, man, let's go stop over there and see what they got going. You feel me, man? We walked off into a fashion show. You know what I'm saying? And they had the vibes going, bad ladies. They had smoke in the air. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, we didn't. And now he and I can share that memory. You know what I'm saying? Till one of us end up where we, you know what I'm saying, don't want to be right at this moment. You
But
know
see,
what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you too. But the reason why I started implementing that in my life, because I'm spontaneous at nature, at heart. But the problem is I spend too much spontaneous money and waste too much spontaneous time. You know, so I'm trying to
Okay.
eliminate randomly waking up spending $300-400 that I did not plan to do. I'm trying to eliminate being gone 5 and 6 hours out my day that I did not plan on doing. So that's where that advice came from. So it's like I like having my spontaneous moments, but my spontaneous moments come with money and time that I didn't plan on using. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
See, that event me and Uncle CB fell off into didn't cost us no money. It
Well,
was
that-
free to get in. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of stories about me and Uncle CB doing that. Maybe he's part of the I'm gonna say between Uncle CB and Uncle Jim, like they helped cultivate the spontaneity within me.
cause well, you naturally not. Maybe you enjoy it because you're not naturally a spontaneous person. You know, I'm naturally a spontaneous person. You know
I can
what
do
I'm
some
saying?
outlandish things and people like, where that come? Because I have some of the most random thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have this thing to where I can record some of the most trivial facts. You know what I'm saying? That nobody cares to know about.
Mhm.
Like, did you know that between the numbers of 0 and 999, there is no A to be found?
What you mean?
In any of the words from 0 to 999, A
you talking
doesn't
about
exist.
spelling the numbers out.
Yeah.
A is not in none of the numbers.
You don't see an A till you spell 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Or the random fact that the earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour. Like, I enjoy random facts like that.
That's not really spontaneous.
That's spontaneous thinking.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, because
that's fun facts, but
you can say
I
that.
mean, like, you know me, bro. Like, I will wake up and randomly get in my car and go do some wild events and have a great time. But if you with me, even you be like, Drew, I'm gonna go and take it in. Like, I'm on my spontaneous time. Like, nothing planned, none of that.
Well, see, I tell you, I'm finna take it in because I'm thinking about what I gotta do tomorrow. You enjoying the moment.
Mhm.
You enjoying the moment. And I was enjoying the moment with you till I started thinking about the future. Like, man, I know I gotta get up in about 4-5 hours.
And see,
Let me take my butt to the house.
but see, that's the sacrifice. See, once I'm in my spontaneous mode, I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about
But
sacrifices.
that's the King Drew Millions way.
And that's why you gotta make the sacrifice to hide your alter ego if you got a vision or if you got a goal. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tuck that in and hey, not right now. Maybe later, but right now.
And it's funny you say that, bro, because when we went to Vegas, the most spontaneous thing I seen you do in that trip, because I done seen you do a lot of things.
Whoa, what we talking about now?
We at the Jeezy concert, y'all. We at the Jeezy concert. My boy asked for like 500 ones to throw in the Jeezy concert. He said, man, I always had a dream of throwing some money at a Jeezy concert. I'm like, bro, I can see if we was at the strip club and you was doing this here. Man, we are in a concert. You got random people picking us.
See, that's that spontaneous stuff.
Yeah, that's a little
I
bit
didn't
too
wake up and
spontaneous
plan
for me.
that. We
You
didn't even
didn't.
plan to go to the Jeezy concert. It was all just impromptu, spontaneous things.
Yeah.
But then you wake up the next day and I'm like, man, I done did too much spontaneous stuff. Cost me too much money, too much time. So it's like,
Yeah.
but nah, growing up watching Jeezy, listening to Jeezy, and I'm be honest with you, bro. And it's crazy because growing up watching him and listening to him, and then finally seeing him and me having that moment. I mean, it's done. But then I'm like, Jesus, don't give a fuck. It didn't. I mean, like for what? Like, I mean, I felt good only at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Like the moment that the concert was over and I'm walking to the room, that was gone. Woke up the next morning like, why, but that was just a King Drew Millions spontaneous moment.
But okay, and your successes in life made you have the ability to do that, right? So does the success make up for the missed time you wasn't able to do that in your 20s? Were you able to when you able to do that in your 30s? And me personally,
I like
think
this question. I got an answer for that.
I think so, because if you'd did it in your 20s, you was a little bit more irresponsible or whatever. But in your 30s, when you did it, you was able to throw it and wasn't tripping about it because you ain't bring it out with you.
Yes, but the problem with now, this is the problem with sacrificing time and, like for the fear of missing out. This is the double-edged sword to that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, some people are chasing a time that has already been had. That's something you got to understand too. If you got a goal or you got a vision and you say, I'm gonna lock in, and while you locking in, you missing out on things. Once you get to your goal and you get to where you want to go and you ready to step out or you ready to mix it, whatever, you can't spend all your success and all your money chasing a time that was already had. So I will be honest with you. What has happened to me is I've became more successful in my 30s. And at one point, and that even kind of started affecting my marriage too, I am trying to be the 20-year-old that didn't have it. And so you see a lot of older men and women get super successful in their later years of life, and they moving funny because they chasing this little kid that had dreams.
Oh, you just struck a nerve right there, because oftentimes our adverse experiences it begins to be contingent on the person that we become as adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a grown man, but you still had that little boy inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because that little boy inside of you, I ain't saying you in general,
No,
right?
I pick up what you're laying down.
But it may be that fear of being isolated, that fear of being ostracized or shunned, or, you know what I'm saying, all the different terms of abandonment. You know what I'm saying? All the different terms of lack and not having.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, before we conclude, I want to ask you one question. You can choose the answer tonight, you know what I'm saying? But what's one thing that you're willing to sacrifice today that most people aren't, so you can live differently tomorrow?
Now you just give me one thing. I mean, my time.
Okay.
Because you said one thing.
No. And okay, I take that. This makes me think about that Young Dolph song, Talking to My Scale. I'm willing to sacrifice myself. And whatever comes with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. In order for if not myself to enjoy the fruits of my labor, my unborn children, my family members, my sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, bro, my sister is my beneficiary on everything that I got, bro.
Mhm.
My life insurance policies, you know what I'm saying? My 401k, my highs, all that, bro. I know if I die today, at least somebody gonna be straight. My legacy live on. Not necessarily from my lineage, because I don't have no biological children.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I had the ability to impact somebody's life. And I know she's not going to squander it
Right, right.
because she holds me in high regards. And the honor in me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when you asked me the question, you said one thing, so I was stuck on one thing. But to answer the question, it wouldn't be one thing, it'd be everything. But that's the same thing you said. My original answer when you said it, I'm like, he said one thing, but my mind was like, what's one thing I would sacrifice? Everything.
I mean, time is something that can't be bought over again. Everything else is replaceable. You know what I'm saying? Once this time is gone, you can't get that back.
I mean, I sacrifice money, time, myself, energy. You know, I mean, at times it's health to be sacrificed because you ain't sleeping, you grinding, you ain't eating sometimes. So
Yeah.
like, you know, so my one thing will be everything. And your
Yeah.
one thing is yourself.
Yeah.
But it's really the same thing.
Because it ain't another me out there.
Hey,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I want to ask all the viewers out there, please like, comment, subscribe. And not only that, share. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are the reason that we do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally become from 0 to what? We are almost 300 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a small amount, but I mean, it's a lot further than what we actually plan to do. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate every view. We appreciate every comment.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether or not we get the opportunity to reply back, we appreciate you, whether it be negative or positive. You know what I'm saying?
And the whole topic of this conversation, what made us, before we end it, what made us decide on this topic was we promised to be as open and vulnerable with our viewers as we can. And once again, we in a new setting. Since we started day one, we've took everybody's opinion.
Mhm.
We've considered everybody information they've gave us. And each season, we've upgraded and we have sacrificed our time, our money, and everything we got to continue this journey. Even when we felt like we shouldn't continue, we had people in our corner saying, man, keep going.
Mhm.
But we are the ones, you know, that we putting it together and we enjoying it, and it's a great journey. But that's why we decided to have the topic of sacrifices, because we
And
are
if it wasn't for
sacrificing.
y'all sitting up there asking me in the off season, man, we gonna drop another episode. Man, we gonna drop another episode. We wouldn't be right here today. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? With a
man.
new logo, new set, you know what I'm saying? And nothing but the best conversation that we could provide you for the hour that you sitting with us. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So with that being said, this has been another conversation.
And thank y'all.
I said that already.
Oh, my bad. I said it again because I love y'all.
You know what I'm saying? This has been a quick conversation with King Drew Millions. And it's your boy, Mr. Quick.
And I'm King Drew Millions.
And we out.